So Kai was live streaming on Twitch. I don't have the exact details, but I have them roughly. And he was on Google Earth on like the street view, and he's like, you know what, chat? We're all gonna meet right here. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna throw a party. We're just gonna turn up, man. And I'm gonna be giving away PlayStation 5s and PCs. So every 6 year old and their mother went there, and every adolescent and teen who missed out on ransacking businesses back in 2020 showed up also and started a riot. So, and then Kai had to be escorted out, and he was taken into the police precinct. It was presumed that he was arrested, but he was just held there for safety reasons, and then he was let go. And his team released some like note, like the go home apology, like yeah, we're sorry. So yeah, that's where that is. That's just kind of the quick rundown of it. But there are videos everywhere of these teenagers just like jumping on cars, smashing in windows. I saw this clip of these two cops literally. One cop had their hand on this kid's shoulder while the other on the other shoulder, and they literally pushed this kid's head through the back windshield of a van. So that was it was a rough watch, man. And then there was this girl twerking on a light pole. Yeah, it was just,
Course,
you
of
know,
course.
typical. I don't know where it is. Yeah, I don't New York or something. But yeah, that was absolutely bonkers. What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
I've seen a lot of people throwing hate towards Kai, and like I've seen a lot of people saying, he incited a riot, which
Mm-hmm.
is similar to other things our country's going through. We're not going to talk about that, but it's
Yeah.
reminiscent. Like, you know, if sure, if Kai knew he was going to get this big, basically mob of people that were going to just destroy everything, he
Mm-hmm.
should be personally held liable for it. I agree with that. But as a as an internet person, and not a very popular one, and that's fine. I can't think of anything more terrifying than like wanting to meet up with your fans and just having just this big, you know, shit show that just, and people go crazy. And there was thousands of people there, literally thousands of people, and it's a crazy, crazy thing. And it's probably why these things don't happen more, and why people just choose to meet up with their fans at like TwitchCon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people heard the word free PlayStations, free PCs. Like you said, I think these are people that either did a little too much in 2020 or didn't get to do enough. Maybe they weren't old enough. Maybe their mom wouldn't let them go out.
Yeah.
But I just think because people heard the word free on a from a Twitch streamer, they just lost their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I saw people saying he should be arrested. I don't think he should be arrested. I mean,
No.
he wasn't trying to get people to destroy stuff like, and that sets I would say, a dangerous precedent for anything. Like, you say anything on the internet and you can be personally held reliable for it. Like, that's kind of a scary thought to me. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we all know the very obvious comparison of this. Uh, like you said, it's hard not to like talk about that because it's just like nearly like identical to that. But I don't know. I think if if these I think it just shows us that if these people have the excuse to act like animals, they will. Whether like I mean, yeah, like, it's just a good idea not to have a big gathering of your community if it's so apparently the number was over 7,000 people showed up, and if if you are literally the biggest like live streamer in the world, which is what Kai is right now, you should expect the biggest showing that anybody has ever seen of people showing up. So I don't know. I think he just like underestimated how many people would actually be there and how they would act. Like there's this other clip of supposedly Kai driving away in a black SUV, and there's people dangling off the side of it and sitting on top of it and dancing on it, and he's just trying to drive away, but he can't do it because there's just a mob of people. So yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. I don't remember who it was. It was a creator talking about. I don't even think I know the person, but they were talking about like if you're basically quote unquote selling your soul if you become an internet personality because you really aren't your own person anymore. Like you can't express your views in the same way. Like you have to be careful about, for obvious examples like this, you have to be careful about what you say. Like you can't just say, "Hey, everybody, let's meet up." And like you and I, or maybe you probably have more friends than I do, but me and my like two friends would show up if I'm lucky,
Hmm.
but you're basically trading away your ability to like be a normal person for internet popularity or fame. It'd be the same as if, Michael Jordan was like, "Hey everybody, I'm meeting up on this corner in New York City. I'm giving away some free shoes. Like, come on out everybody." It would be crazy. It would be even crazier than what we just saw, but I do think that as unfortunate as it is, like if you are getting if you are popular on the internet, if you're TikTok famous or Twitch famous or however they want to say it, you have to be really careful about what you say because people will, and even if you're not legally found responsible, people will always remember you as the guy that started this riot, that this poor 60-year-old man was robbed and this person was trampled. And I don't know if there's actually been any casualties. I haven't heard of any. I'm sure that they would say there was a lot if there was a lot, but
The worst thing that I saw was that like maybe two of his fans got in a fist fight, but that's the worst thing I saw.
supposedly I'm gonna send this to you because I don't know if it's real or not. Let me know what you think. Supposedly his mugshot got leaked, which I think is fake because I don't think he was actually arrested. But yeah, and there's a video of him or a picture of him carrying a small child to safety in the
Hmm.
chaos of the NYC giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he meant, obviously I don't think he meant for this to happen because if he did it would destroy his business, everything he's worked for. I think he
Hmm.
thought it would be cool to like meet up with everybody. And that brings up a good question. Like, do these people, maybe they don't realize how popular they really are. Like maybe they don't realize the impact they have on people.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Well, first of all, I don't think that this mugshot is real. um, I've seen like two different mugshots. I don't think he was like arrested like that. In the same vein as like him not knowing that if like all these people would show up, dude had literally like some of the most popular rappers like literally in his like house, I guess, like in the background of his stream. He had like 21 Savage, maybe Drake, all these just different people, like yeah, it's like a bunch of celebrities and just hundreds of thousands of viewers and the most popular streamer right now. It's so I don't know. It's the same. I have to mention it. It's the same thing with January 6th. You cannot be Donald Trump and then have all of these people who believe that there are lizards under the earth and the Democrats are all like satanic and stuff and not expect something like disastrous like that to happen. So I don't know. It's just not very well thought out. I guess I'll say that. Definitely should have
Right.
required more planning on his part instead of just meet here, let's do it. So it should have been at like a convention hall or something at least, and not just in the middle of the street.
Yeah. So do you think then going along with that, do you think personal responsibility should be like carried by the person that like Kai, for instance?
um, yeah, I think so to a certain extent. I'm not really sure like what extent that would be. I would say at the very least, like him and his team or whatever should like pay back for the people that had their like property destroyed. I don't know like how that works out like legally, if that's something that the city takes care of or him, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean that would seem like on a moral level the very least you could do if you're a billionaire probably. I don't know how much money he has, like a millionaire at least. Like you
Hmm.
could pay back that at least that 60-year-old guy. But yeah, I think it brings up a good question, and something that unfortunately, but unfortunately for us in this time, I don't think our culture has ever had to deal with something like this, because I think people for the longest time that were popular didn't want anything to do with their fans. Like they wanted to stay away from their fans. Like, don't touch me, don't come to my house. Like, you can watch me on the big screen, but stay away from me.
Hmm.
And so I think with with the internet being as big as it is, and people like Kai being as big as they are, I don't think that we've ever had to think about these things. And it brings up some interesting questions. And like you said, like you'd be an idiot to not think, like, if you're somebody like the former president or Kai, that there wasn't going to be thousands of people to show up to see you.
Hmm.
And but once those people are there, like, should they bear a responsibility for what people do? That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Let me see here.
Because I think at the very least, like in a legal sense with this, and I haven't followed it. I had only heard about it. I think yesterday I had kind of read a little bit about it, but I think at like the very least, like they broke certain city codes and violations by not filing for a permit, because that's the reason for filing for a permit, so they can have adequate police backup there and all this stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking through his Twitter now, and I am looking for a tweet that says "Stop destroying stuff." There is no such thing. So, I mean, that is literally the absolute least that you could do is to like tweet something or post something or go live and say stop, just stop. Like that seems like a
Uh,
no-brainer to me. But
I wasn't trying to cut you off, but
yeah,
I just tagged you in another one that is absolutely
what?
hilarious. They just pick him up like he's a baby and like pull him out of the crowd.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your thought there. Were you?
no. No, I was just saying that like the least that he could have done is post something, anything, just telling people to stop or calm down. And I'm whether they would have or not, I don't know, but you would look a lot better if you did, if you tried.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I mean, he didn't. He definitely didn't do himself any favors by like immediately going live and just saying stop coming. Like, it's a mess. Like, it's a riot. People are
yeah.
destroying stuff. Stop doing that.
Hmm.
Like, it makes him look like he doesn't really care. Like, maybe he was actually trying to get a big crowd together just to cause problems, but
Hmm.
which I don't believe. But
No.
I don't know him, so
Hmm.
I just saw the one of the girl twerking on the light pole too. So
Yeah.
it's a good look for it.
Hmm. Oh, and by the way, it's the same thing with these, with even the Capitol riot or the looting and stuff from a few years ago. It's like you know there are going to be cameras around. Why are you smashing and stealing shit when you could like turn your face? Oh, oh no! Like, like I saw this. There's this clip of this guy jumping on the top of a car, just destroying the roof. How? And you can see his face clearly. Like, what are you doing? So,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's good questions. Definitely. I mean, there needs to be some precedent set for things like this. You would hope that this being as big of a disaster as it is, people wouldn't do it again. But
Mm-hmm.
other people that want to be popular are going to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess my final take on it is like, you should know better than to get a bunch of people, especially young teenagers. I don't know what his target range is. It's probably like 15. I don't know,
Hmm.
15 to 20, I guess. Like, you should know better than to do something like that, but you
Yeah.
obviously don't. But are you personally responsible for what other people do? No, you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, it would be hard to prove that that person actually was responsible for what all these other people had done too. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Definitely disgusting, terrible behavior by everybody involved.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all I had for that.
Yeah, yeah, it just, and again, like, as I try not to with stuff like this because it's obviously not, I don't have nothing to do with it, but I just feel like this gives, it's like the video games cause violence thing. Like, this gives ammunition to people that want to cancel video games and Twitch streamers and like all this stuff. It's like, this was a stupid thing that could have been avoided. Like, again, I don't think he should be responsible for what other people did. He organized it, so whatever that means, but it just gives everybody, every online person, in the normal person's eyes, it just gives them such a bad reputation, a bad look, basically, in everybody's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.